All right, we're live. No intro. As a matter of fact, not only do we have no intro, I'm looking for a camera that I don't have set up. I don't have it. There was no point. Okay, so first of all, thank you, everybody. It's been ages since we've had Monday Night Draw, like a true, real Monday Night Draw. It's been a long, long time, and I missed it. I know Meredith missed it. We missed all you guys. I've seen so many of you for our other streams, which we will keep doing. Eric and I, we have a bunch planned, but I really miss doing streams with Meredith and hanging out with you all and just relaxing and drawing a little bit. Unfortunately, it's been so long. YouTube updated their site a little bit.
Get in there.
You can't. The dog's going for my garbage. You can't use their URL and put it into the thing and get the chat to come up. It's all different. I tried. So I'm going to have to spend this next week. I should have known. Also, I spent a good portion of today trying to get my second camera to work. Eric is finally actually going to send me some help.
I don't have a chat. Why don't I have a chat?
Meredith, I can't help you. We have a chat, and it's right here. And everybody's saying the flock is back. Henry Jeremick says, hello, Meredith.
I can see it now.
Okay, she can see it. Oh, you dog.
We broke the cup.
Yeah. Cup.
Why don't you shut the door?
Yeah. Oh, hold on,
Why
guys.
don't I shut the door?
You shut the door. There you go.
I shut the door?
All right, while you do that, I'm going to start drawing.
Oy.
He's gotten too big.
Some things just don't change.
Yeah.
I mean, I can stand up, though, and nobody's going to see me. Come on.
Yeah, there's that. So, and today we're drawing Aphrodite IX. Whoa, that was a slam.
Well, the window's open.
Oh, that's right.
It wasn't a slam. It was emphasis. One of those nights.
You'll be fine.
No, you won't be fine.
No?
No, you're not fine.
Oh, okay.
Grouchy face.
It's gone back.
Nobody can see your grouchy face.
I know.
Because you don't have a camera.
It kills me. I spent so much of today. I got a new cord for it. It didn't work. You have to buy apparently the cord that comes with it. Who knows? And I have my old. It's a long story, but I'm hoping.
We've got 2 hours. Tell me your long story, Dave.
That's all right. I'm hoping to have it set up for next week, and I'm going to be spending the week getting that to work. So if it doesn't work, it's because I failed, not because I didn't try.
That's because you didn't try. All right, let's start right off with a super chat from Greg L. Static Art for $1.99. Hey, Dina, great to see you guys again. Although you can't see us, Greg. You can't see us.
Next time.
You can see Dave's hands. You can see what Dave's drawing. You know what they say?
No.
Empty promises.
I know. Well,
Thanks for being this first super chat back in season 3.
Yeah, good to see Greg L here.
Monday Night Draw. Anthony G has a super chat for $4.99. Anthony says, it's like slipping into an old pair of pants. So happy to be back. So happy to see you, Anthony. Thank you for the super chat for $4.99. So, what have you done with your summer? Oh, no, wait, hold on. There's another super chat here from JDSCT for $2. David Meredith, so happy to be back.
It's great to see everybody. It's
Why
great to see.
can't Dave be happy to be back, Dave?
I am happy. I'm very happy.
Why are you so grumpy?
You know what? I'm always stressed out.
So grumpy.
Mostly, I thought, oh, this will go so smoothly, and I've got all kinds of time to plan it, and I have been a little busy, but I did actually spend a bunch of time today trying to plan
I cut the
it.
grass for you yesterday. There's no excuse for you to be grumpy.
I know. Well, that actually kind of makes me grumpy too.
Oh, I know. I helped out.
As much as I appreciate it, and I needed the help. That's my job.
Mom, there's only so many of your jobs you can do. Henry Jeremick says, Meredith, do you think the 7 o'clock start time is a better idea? Henry, I'm the one who insisted on the 7 o'clock start time.
She doesn't want to stay up late. Yeah, it was out of my hands.
Like it. He says, I like it. And you know what? I like it too. I'm guessing people in Europe will like it as well.
Yeah. It's at least a little better than it was.
Adeo de Lima Jr. says, hi, Finchies from Brazil.
Hello, Adeo.
And then somebody else with a name that's from Asia says, well, damn you, early as hell. So we're actually an hour earlier for the early
Oh,
Asian
yeah.
people. Sorry. The Australian people. Sorry. So sorry.
There's no way.
There's no win.
No, yeah, whatever you do, it always hurts somebody, and we value you all. It's not.
Tag 'em home model.
Great,
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Tag 'em home model works has a super chat for $2. Glad you both are back. Really, the most important thing is me.
Yes.
I'm the most important thing.
Yeah.
We all want Meredith to be awake and less grumpy.
It is actually. I think it's going to be a better stream with you not flagging for the entire second hour.
Yeah. I mean, I go to bed at 8:00. At least I only have to stay up an hour past my bedtime instead of 2. Yeah.
How's that look? Does her head look too big? What do you think?
I can't see.
A little bit. I'm gonna make her leg. You want to
Her
sort that
head or
stuff
her
out
leg?
early? I don't know.
I can't see.
Okay, here, take a look this way. What do you think?
No, I think she's fine.
No, it's fine.
Yep.
All right.
Jamal Rashid has a super chat for $4.99. Man, Monday's back. God bless the Finches. P.S. I love this. Yes. As in Aphrodite IX. And Greg L. Sadekar has another super chat for $1.99. TYSM again for the picture. It looks amazing.
Oh, yeah, very welcome. And Greg actually still does not have his Monday Night Draw book. And I mentioned it to Jason, but in Jason's defense, I mentioned it. And then when the actual mailing came up, I forgot to mention it again. So, yeah, we will get that to you too. But at least
right now.
you got the.
Right now.
Oh, good. Thank you. Meredith has actually been kind of trying to help me with a little bit of this stuff again. Like so we've got a farm. You guys know that. And she's been so busy with the farm that a lot of, just helping me with the schedule that I'm so helpless with she just hasn't been able to do it. So she's actually kind of coming back and helping with a little bit more of that again, which is nice. Like we had 400,000 subscribers, and thank you all, very much for all of you who have subscribed lately and ever subscribed, because it all goes into the number and it's very appreciated. Yeah, I don't know what to say about it. I never would have thought we would get there. I never had even a goal to get there. It's incredible. And, obviously we couldn't have done it without you. You're right. Yeah, we haven't done a giveaway for a little bit because on my own, I can't do it. But maybe if you guys are really nice to Meredith, we could do another one. What do you think, Meredith? I won't ask. She'll just say no.
Right now, because I'm typing, but I just know that you're skirting the line of first night back, asking for too much.
Yeah, well, now that I have you here, you have to be nicer. You should see her when she's gone. When she's
You should see the bruises. That's why. I mean, the simple fact of the matter is, the reason he's not on camera is because I clocked him.
Yeah, she beats me. All right. Once I get the face in, I think we'll. That arm's there. Go. So I cleaned my office pretty heavily today.
You did?
Yep. So what you're seeing,
Wow.
That's after a lot of cleaning.
Jason says he's going to send it out tomorrow.
Thank you, Jason. Hey, were you just texting him?
Yes.
Okay. You can text him from your computer?
Yes. That is the benefit of having an Apple product. It's all integrated. So anybody who also has an Apple product,
I regret asking.
I can see their text messages on my computer. And look how much faster it is to type on a keyboard versus my big fat thumbs on a teeny tiny phone.
It's only 7 and now I'm tired.
Yeah. I'm doing my job then.
Yeah, that is kind of nice. And well, thank you, Jason. We have an announcement coming up actually pretty soon.
Well, we don't have an announcement that I know about, so we don't have an announcement.
Not today. Next time.
Nothing I know about means no announcement.
Okay, well, you know what? I need to talk to Jason, actually. So I shouldn't just say next time, but very, very soon we have something coming up. I told a few people about it over the course of the last couple of dimensions.
Oh, wow.
But
and maybe I know about it, maybe I don't. Tomic Art has a super chat for $1.99. It's Tomic. Tomic says, I miss this so much. Missing M&D. Welcome back. Thanks, Tomic. Oh, my little chitlins.
Ay, ay, ay.
Toby Miley has a super chat for $4.99. All I need is Kenny Wang, and then my life's complete. I remember a promo art book of Aphrodite IX looking completely different than published. Is that right?
No. Yes. We did like a 1/2. So back in the day, there was a time when Wizard was, kind of the biggest and most important tool for promoting things. And so they used to do a lot of 0 issues and 1/2 issues. And the reason for that, I think, is pretty obvious. Number 1 issues sell for a lot of money. Well, how do you get more number 1 issues? And this was before multiple covers. As a matter of fact, actually, we were doing multiple covers. So we did that too. But yeah, we did I can't remember if it was a 0 or a 1/2, but it was a bit of a short story. So all the art was different. It's totally its own story. So that's why it was different. It wasn't a completely different timeline or anything. It was just extra to have a 1/2 issue, and it made a big difference. I'll tell you, I miss Wizard for their ability to promote a book. And they could take a book from that might have sold 50, 40,000 and make it sell 150,000 just with coverage in Wizard. It was a big deal.
I have news.
Atomic
Art has a super chat for $4.99. He says, I did my first mainstream comic cover, Dave.
Really?
Thank you for your teaching. If it wasn't for this channel, I wouldn't be doing this. Thank you both. You're the best.
Well, congratulations. That's amazing. I mean, look, it was a matter of time. I think everybody could see that. For those of you that have been watching for a while, you know how great Atomic has been getting. For those of you that are a little newer, he's been getting great. So there you go. And he's young, so he started out pretty raw, and in the course of 3 years, basically 3 years, right? I mean, he's really developed into a very, very good comic artist so quickly.
I have Greg's tracking number. Jason was doing shipping at that moment.
Look at that. He is fast. Like, that's the thing. He is so on the ball. It's just, I ask him, when I ask Jason for this stuff, the last day of a convention, on the last day, like, we're leaving
at the end of a convention.
And just to be nice, he says, is there anything else, and
he doesn't really mean it.
No, he's tired. He because
wants to go home.
Okay.
And instead you come up with something else.
We do conventions, right? And I swan in at noon, I'm out by 4, and Jason is there. He's there all day. From 9 in the morning until, especially with teardown on the last day, he's there till 9 at night.
To set up, and he's late to tear down. Before we go any further, we cannot forget to thank our amazing moderators, without whom we could not do this stream. Eric Grove and Russ Hicks.
Yes, thank you very, very much.
Thank you, gentlemen, for being here every Monday night. All right, our next super chat comes from R. Alan Thornton for $10. R. Alan says, welcome back. So happy.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Dennis Kelly says, Dave and Meredith, I finished coloring my first comic book this summer. Thank you for Monday Night Draw. It definitely motivated me to get through. Oh, that's amazing. And then we have a super chat from Dan Lassard for $10. Hey, Mrs. and Mr. Finch. I hope all is well at the Finch Farm. God bless you and the flock. Thanks, Dan. Dan wanted to do 6, but 6 o'clock we're still feeding horses. So, Dan, I hope 7 is better.
It's better than 8.
For you as it is for me.
Well, it's already better. We have Dan Lassard here. And so Dan, he's local for me. And I go visit as much as I can, and we paint together. Actually, Eric, Eric Grove came this summer with his family and spent a little bit of time. We went and visited Dan. We painted together. Actually, Eric has a bunch of video on his phone of us painting together, which we need to talk and get that sorted out. I'd like to put that up. I don't know, Instagram or whatever, but I think it'd be a lot of fun for people to see. We were learning how to airbrush from Dan, and he is an expert. So it was a lot of fun. As a matter of fact, a lot of the airbrush stuff we're doing right now really comes courtesy of learning from Dan.
Sorry, I'm texting with Jason.
He heard me trashing him.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we'll all wait.
I know you will, because it's all about me.
Oh man.
Jimmy Reyes Art has a super chat for $5. Jimmy says, is it too late to get a copy of the Monday Night Sketchbook since Dragon Rage is in it?
He didn't get one?
Jimmy, you didn't support the Kickstarter. I guess you didn't get a copy of the book.
You know what? I think
I figure we can get one.
Yeah.
You can get one from Jason next time you're at a convention.
He's got his character in there.
That he just said that.
Yeah, and well, I know, but so we need to give him one, not only because we need to give him one, but also he could sue. We've printed his character.
But it's your artwork.
Meredith's looking at me like, what?
I'm like,
Are you kidding me right now?
Don't make me come over there and give you another black eye. All right, and we have a super chat from Toby Miley for $4.99. Toby says he was pretty sure it was a half issue, and the character design was completely different, is what he meant. She wasn't cheesecakey.
Really? Okay. You know what?
Did you make her more cheesecakey as it went on?
No. As a matter of fact, I had to pull back.
Get more bootylicious?
No, I had to pull back. So if you saw one that was tasteful, that is a later edition done by a different artist in a bit of a different era. I never really did a
You were all about the booty.
I was, and as a matter, it was a different time in my defense. And
it was the early 90s.
And speaking of Wizard, when we created Aphrodite IX, I wanted to call her, I'm just gonna say it, I wanted to call her Sexbot. I remember you telling me that. Yes. And Wizard said, if you call it that, we will not promote it. So we had to come up with another name. As a matter of fact, I can't believe that name got as far as it did. But yeah, I think in terms of story, in terms of, in terms of story and art, I mean, it's had some beautiful, beautiful art over the years. I think Aphrodite has really kind of seen its best years over the last several. I was glad to start it out. I had a huge amount of fun with it. I'd love to do more. I don't know that I'll ever get the chance. I mean, I'd love to do so many things, but I think it's been in very, very good hands.
You need 2 lifetimes to do everything that you want to do. Brickman 101 has a super chat for 50 Mexican pesos. Hello, Dave. I took your superhero head class on Skillshare. Oops. Excellent. I finished and shared the project. I hope you have a chance to review it.
Well, thank you very much for that. I haven't actually looked at Skillshare in a very long time. I need to do that. I have a question for you guys. I've been thinking I'd like to take the courses that I have on Skillshare and just put them up on YouTube for free. My concern with that is a lot of you guys have bought them, and I don't want to, disrespect that. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Hold on. I got a text. Jason's going to call you tomorrow.
Okay.
But I got to give him the house number, and I had to look it up on my phone.
Yeah, I lost
look it up on my phone because none of us know our own home phone number anymore.
You were right, though, by the way. Meredith
2164?
Yeah,
I am right.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. So I lost my phone in Baltimore. So yeah, I have no cell phone. And it gets worse, actually. I lost my phone in Baltimore. I got back home and Meredith said, you need to go and get a new phone, And so I went to the store to get a new phone, and I was not able to do it because my name isn't on the account.
Which doesn't even make sense.
But whatever.
Because you have a phone on the account.
Anyway, so I still have no phone.
But our 19-year-old son could get his dad a phone. His name is on the account.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Anyway.
So funny.
One of these days I'll have a phone again.
Jason Paul Perkins Art says, Dave, I love the acrylic covers you've been doing.
Thank you very much, Jason. I have been having a blast with them. It's been the most fun I've had in many, many years. They're such a challenge, but I'm really enjoying them. I'm going to show you guys one I just finished. I haven't actually even turned this in yet, so don't show anybody. But, so this is the new Batman cover.
What? Get that off the screen. 5.
Nobody can print it from there. All right.
4.
Anyway.
People can screen cap.
All right. I just wanted
It's
to
like
show.
you don't live in the 21st century.
No one will show anybody.
OMG, David.
We're all on the same team.
Oh, sigh. All I can do is sigh. He's gonna have 2 black eyes tomorrow. This is gonna be. You're gonna take a licking tonight. Will Roberts has a super chat for 500 ARS. I don't know what that is, but he says, "Hi Dave, I'm working at Antarctica from Top Cow. Any advice from your time working there?" This is Will's very first super chat.
Well,
Woo-hoo.
Thank you very much. It's been a very long time since I worked at Top Cow. The nice thing is, though, so many of the people are the same. It hasn't actually changed a huge amount. And okay, my advice would be the same as with every company. You want to do the best work you can. You want to make it as timely as you can. You know, when you say you can meet a deadline and you don't, it always creates a lot of stress, and it makes them very reluctant to trust you with something else. Something I've found out the hard way more than once. In terms of working for Top Cow, I don't know of a better place to work. I've worked for, places I would say are as good. I mean, I've been very, very fortunate. But Mark Silvestri has so much integrity, and all of the people working for him do. When they tell you something, it's the truth, and that goes a long, long way. They're very good. So my advice would be stay there as long as you can.
All right. In response to your question about the videos,
yeah.
Chris Olette says they paid for the Head Start. And then Bob says, what if you created condensed shorter videos of each of the courses for YouTube so it wasn't one-to-one the same content, but viewers get many of the same tips?
Yeah, I could do that.
And then Art Jedi says, I think all of us would be thrilled to give as many people the chance to learn as much as we did with Skillshare. And then Jason Paul Perkins says, I can understand being upset at paying for something that is now free, but sharing good information is noble, and I think it's a good idea.
And I do hate the idea of, I would like to give it out for free. And I hate the idea of like essentially creating an advertisement for the paid for thing,
And Edward Lee says, Dave, you haven't monetized a lot of your content, so I think it's okay to make money on the content you've already put up on Skillshare.
Yeah.
Anthony G is telling the world he screen capped that picture, and now it's out there for everyone to see.
Anthony would not do that. Anthony's an OG.
SCS Powerlifting has a super chat for $5. Welcome back, DNM, and to all the flock. Thank you, SCS. Good to see you.
Yeah, absolutely. He does pop in when you're not here to at least say hi, which is always nice.
When I'm not here, nobody's here. That's how it works. If a tree falls in the forest, does anybody hear?
Yeah, that's exactly how that goes.
Yeah, exactly. Toby Miley has another super chat for $4.99. It was a small write-up in Wizard with a small bust of her. She looked more Raggedy Annie vibe, which is why it stood out to me.
Oh, you're right. I had her okay, so the first thing that I did with her, so I was looking at body bags. If you guys remember, Jason Pearson did a book a long time ago now called Body Bags, and his character had a cheerleader outfit, which I thought looked really cool. And Travis Trest actually did a character in a cheerleader outfit, which looked amazing. So that was kind of in my head at the time. I did it. I didn't like how it turned out. Maybe if I would have worked with it. Anyway, I ultimately decided not to go with it. I completely forgot. So there you go. She was in a cheerleader outfit, though. So it's hard for me to say that's not more exploitative.
It's good to know that your fans know more about your work than you do at this point.
Yeah.
Keith Dodson says, make Matt Hawkins' life easier. That's his advice for Top Cow.
Yeah. Well, and Matt Hawkins is the kind of editor you love to have because he appreciates the talent he works with a lot. He's very good with all that stuff, scheduling everything, and yeah, he's a good guy. I've known Matt Hawkins now for a long time. How long? I mean,
I can't answer that question.
long time.
Brickman 101 has another super chat for 50 MX. I bought the Skillshare membership for your courses, but I have no problem sharing them for free on YouTube. Bridgman rules.
Yeah, 100%. All right.
Ross Klein gets a super chat for $5. Ross says, "Hey, M&D, I was wondering if you're still working on your own comic property. Is that still a thing?"
Oh, it sure is. It definitely a thing.
He's not working on it though.
Hey.
Daddy ain't got no time. If he can't cut the grass, he ain't got no time to work on other stuff.
My own. Well, okay, yeah. So I have my own thing called Blight, which I did a print of it for Monday Night Draw. I did it because I wanted to be able to do something that I could print without copyright issues, and also I just want to create a character. So if that's what you mean, I have not done anything with that, and I wish I could stop time. Like it'd be great to be like invincible or whatever. Like you think about superpowers you'd like to have. Really, if I could have one, I just want to be able to stop time and work.
That's true. I believe that. Tom McCarr says, "I bought the Skillshare, but don't care. Just put it up for free."
All right. I'm going to do it.
Joshua Landis. I think he should put up at like double pace.
No.
Joshua Landis has a super chat for $19.99. Joshua says, "Hey, David Meredith, so glad you're back. I bought all the Aphrodite IX covers. Aphrodite IX, I can't say it. I bought all the Aphrodite IX covers back in the day. Just wondering if you or the family got a chance to play my game I gave you at the Awesome Con, Pirates Dragons Theater Treasure."
No, I have it right here. Actually, it's a card game that I got from him.
This is literally the first I'm hearing of it, Joshua.
Well, it's been a little busy.
This is what happens. He comes home from conventions. He comes down to his den of comic creation, and I see
iniquity
from him.
It's a den of iniquity.
This is not a den of iniquity. This is so far from a den of iniquity, I can't even begin. It's a den of filth and dirt.
Hey, oh come on, it's not ideal, but
oh no, it's bad.
It's not that bad.
It's bad. I am going to take this couch one day when you are at a convention, and I'm going to burn it.
That couch lives forever.
I'm going to burn it. I have to sit on every Monday night. I'm going to burn it. I'm going to get one of those like old, like 80s style lazy boy couches where you like kick out the recliner, and they're ugly as sin right now in the modern day, but they're so comfy. You'll love me for it.
All right.
You don't even need a couch. You just need a lazy boy.
Yeah, I need my couch. That's my couch.
You need this is your bed. That's why you need it. It's your bed.
I've been known to sleep on the couch a few times here and there.
When you come to bed at night, I'm like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah. So last time I came to bed a couple days ago, I
have my bed upstairs and he has his couch downstairs. We are really old. That's, when old people don't sleep together anymore.
Yep. Oh,
my grandparents
were that way.
I actually kind of resent you when you come to bed now. I'm like, really? He came up tonight. Tonight he had to come up.
Keeping you awake. I remember my grandparents went upstairs and they were in the same room, but two separate beds. I thought, what the heck
is that? My grandparents did that. That's so British.
Yeah.
My British grandparents had that, two single beds.
Yeah.
And then my Canadian grandparents had a double bed.
Our backgrounds are so similar. We're practically inbred.
Well, thank goodness we're not.
Oh, you don't like it when I put it that way?
I mean, when people ask if you're my brother.
People ask that?
People have asked if we're brother and sister before.
Come on. I look nothing like you.
No, I'm much better looking. No comment.
I'm much better looking.
Fair enough. It's a bald head.
Nobody
can fight the bald.
That's right.
I have more hair in my upper lip than you do.
Yeah, I rest my case. Jeez.
Gerald Lang says, wow, Aphrodite after all these years, finally on a Monday. See? Do people know who you have to thank for Aphrodite IX tonight?
Yeah, actually, I asked Meredith, who should I
You're
draw?
welcome.
And Meredith said Aphrodite IX. I realized, you know what? I can't believe I haven't drawn it.
You're welcome. That's why, again, I say it's all about me.
So this is me picking up from Joe Benitez. I did a stream with Joe Benitez this summer. 2 of them, actually. And Joe likes to just kind of create shapes and then make things out of them. And I'm always so like, oh, I don't know. And so I'm trying to just go crazy with it and just make a shape like this. I don't really know. Doesn't matter. And then I can kind of make it work. I'm trying to free up some of that a little bit.
Jason Paul Perkins Art has a good point of why I shouldn't get your recliner. He says Meredith will be asleep in those recliners before the first hour. You're not wrong, Jason.
We can just make her sleep on the couch.
You're not wrong.
That is a good point,
sleep
though.
On this couch. I feel like next time I'm bringing down like a sheet to put on top of the couch before I sit on the couch.
Yeah, I think Eric could attest. It's an old nasty couch by now.
It is. I remember when it was brand new. It is not the color it was when we first got it.
Part of the problem is I do a lot of my my painting on the couch, and so it just.
But you're able to do more stuff in your chair. Why?
Really?
Yep. Really. Why are you able to sit in your chair and work now, Dave?
Okay, so Meredith has all these people that she goes to, like they rub rocks together, and like the crystals and smells and the weird thing. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
No.
And
not
so
that kind of stuff.
yeah, so my back has been hurting quite a bit, and I finally decided I would give one of her weird crystal people a try. And,
not a crystal person.
And her weird crystal person fixed my back.
Not a crystal person.
I can't remember what it's called though.
She's an osteopath.
Osteopath. I'm gonna say right now I don't believe in any of that stuff, but it worked, so I guess I believe in it.
And Dave does not like, he won't go to a massage therapist. He won't go to a chiropractor. He does not like to be around people. He won't I can't rub his feet. He doesn't like to be touched. So it's a big deal. He must have been in a lot of pain for him to go see Jenna.
Yeah, and she was great.
And he is, I've converted him. He's a devout osteopath.
Yeah, I've been 3 times now, and it's.
You're looking for your next appointment.
Yes, it's been great.
If you, and this is just a shout out to osteopaths everywhere. If you are stiff and sore and you think I need a massage, what you need is an osteopath, because they will fix you so that you don't need a massage. They're like, it's like a combination of chiropractic and massage without the crunching and the I don't even know what to say.
It worked.
But,
and this is not a paid advertisement.
This is not, nobody's getting paid here. We're not touting anybody's number. Just saying.
You know what I will say though?
What?
Speaking of, okay, not really paid, but you guys remember that I was promoting Comics on Coffee a while ago. I just heard from them. They actually are doing a bag with one of my covers on it. Very excited. So I'm going to get one. When I get it, I'll show you guys.
What kind of bag?
Coffee. What do you mean, what kind of bag?
Bag? Tote bag?
No, a bag of coffee.
Okay, here's what I will say.
Yeah.
There is no thermos that I can put my tea in.
Yeah.
That is better than that thermos you were given by Comics on Coffee.
I know. Yeah, I never see it now.
No, it is the best. It is the best. I like, what? How can I get one like this with the Finch Farm logo? How can I get one with my friend's
Hey,
logos?
we're promoting Comics on Coffee here.
So good though. That freaking, I don't know why it's so good, but it's like the perfect shape. It's perfect everything.
They have the best mugs too.
Well, I personally like China, so do just.
Yeah.
Greg L. Aesthetic Art has a super chat for $4.99. Hey Dave, still having trouble connecting the arm to the torso when the arm should be raised. I don't know where I'm going wrong, even with reference. Any tips?
Yes.
And 7:35.
Hold on. Okay.
Our first segue of the night.
Okay. So I'm going to draw a figure. I draw, this is like the kind of the Loomis method. So from the front, here's the rib cage, and he cuts it here and here. And then he puts a a ball joint out here that the arm extends from. I don't do that. What I do is draw a ball. And then I extend my arm out from that ball. And this all makes pretty good sense, right? The arm down is pretty easy. But when you raise the arm, it gets a little more difficult. And the thing that you need to bear in mind is you have a hinge from here to here and on the other side too. And when you raise the arm, it lifts. And so let me lighten this down just a little bit here. And what I need to do is take this opening and lift it up like that. And then the whole chest actually stretches. So I'm going to do it on both sides. So you need to just lift that. You don't want to go crazy, but if you don't do that, you're going to have trouble right away. And then you draw your ball on there and you draw your arm coming out of that ball. And you'll have an arm that looks natural lifted. I mean, obviously that's pretty poorly drawn, but the point is that it's the connect. I mean, they're the muscle connections, and we could go into all that and whatever. But the point is, it needs to be like all of this stuff really comes down to the foundational construction, and that is the foundational construction in its most basic form. And so no anatomy, it's just a simple ball shape. But that will get you the right placement. And then from there, if you try and do, actual anatomy on top of that, that will make a big difference. I'm like tempted to draw the anatomy on there, but it's so beyond the point. Because if you're having trouble with that, that is the problem. It's getting that hinge working properly. Because if you try to lift the arm and you still have it growing from here, it's going to just look broken. And that I see that quite a bit. So my assumption is that is the issue. Larnell Anthony. Hello, David. I met you at Terrificon 23. Yeah, but you might have missed it. He met me at the Mohegan Sun. I signed his Justice League. Well, great to see you here. All right. Sorry, Meredith's job.
Stop that. You're closer, I'd smack you. Adam Mayer has no. Yes, it is. I did quick, did I do that right? No, it's not. It's Meyer. It's Meyer, like my baloney has a first name. Adam Meyer has a.
Adam Meyer loves that too.
I will never forget that though, because of that.
Yeah.
I always correct myself. Has a super chat for $10. Adam says, "Hey guys, welcome back, Meredith. But why so early?" Adam, it's so I can stay awake. I will tell you, the last Friday and Sunday, we had friends over Friday, and we had my parents over for dinner last night. And I'm telling you, by 7:30. First of all, I had not slept either night beforehand. I was so grumpy. I was just like, I just want to go to bed so badly.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I did sleep last night. And you know what I don't hear out there?
Yeah. So, okay, we have a stud, which is a male horse that's not.
New Finch Farm news.
Not gelded. Let me just say this. It's not. And
we have a full male horse here.
Right. And they are crazy. And we haven't been able to put him anywhere near any of the other horses. Well, last 2 nights we tried. We put him separated by like a metal fencing, but he's been kind of attacking the metal fencing. He's not trying to hurt the other horses. He just wants to get to them. And he can't because we have a 1-year-old female that we really don't want to get.
A 1-year-old, a 2-year-old.
We don't want to get pregnant. Yeah. So
no unplanned pregnancy.
Well, especially a horse is way too young.
Children and horses.
So, yeah. Anyway, Meredith put up an electric fence, and that did the trick.
Oh, it's quiet.
Yeah.
Nothing better than getting zapped, and he did get zapped a couple times.
Yeah, and you know what? I've been zapped by those fences enough times myself. It's not a terrible thing. It's not like it's some kind of awful thing. It's just enough to go, whoa, what was that?
IW Legendary SAYAIN22. That's the name. I didn't make it up. Has a super chat for $5. If there's a way I should be saying it better, please tell me. Hey, Dave, much love. I recently finished my Gwen Stacy sketch based off of your live drawing of her from your last year's stream. I'd love to show you.
Nice. So what sketch is it?
Gwen Stacy.
Oh, Gwen Stacy. Okay. Awesome. I need to get on the Facebook group more so I can see more of the art.
Finch Flock. Post it on the flock. I'll show Dave.
Okay.
Post it on the flock Facebook group. Art by AK says, first time in years I get to watch it live. Europe time zone is not the best. See, going early works.
Not for everybody, but yeah. Well, I'm glad. You can tell I
One
tend
Mighty
to
says, same here. I don't want strangers massaging me either.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm sure it's like an issue that it's like we're a little unhealthy, but it is what it is. I notice when Joe Benitez makes up shapes, they're all very round and very flowing and beautiful. When I make up shapes, they're all very angular.
That's because you're a person of angles. That's how you draw. And Joe is much more like curvy and circular. I think that makes sense.
It does.
That's how his art is.
Yeah, you can pick your influences.
How your art comes out of your.
But so much of it ends up being like when you find your style, it is a result of influences, but it's so much just a result of your own mindset, personality. I don't know.
And finally, I get down to Larnell Anthony saying, "Hi, Dave."
Hi, Larnell. See, that's why I did it before. Now I can't even.
Terrificon 23 at the Mohegan Sun, and you signed my Justice League.
Well, great to see you there. I've seen so many people there. A lot of people that watch the stream with you guys, so live, and a lot of people that watch later, and that's just really a result of working or our time not lining up. But yeah, I always appreciate it either way. It's nice to have you guys here because it's nice to hear from you guys, but it's also nice to hear from you guys at shows that you watch other times. $7:42, man. We were rocking this out, Meredith. It's going fast.
Early to bed? I mean, past my bedtime, but early to bed?
I highly doubt that, but at least it won't be late.
Past my bedtime. Faku DSS says, Dave, you are my biggest influence.
Well, thank you very much.
Paul Floyd says, hello, Finch Flock. So happy Monday night. Draw is back. Hoping everyone is doing well. And Eli wants to know, did you have a fun Batman Day, Dave?
When was Batman? Yes. When was Batman Day?
Oh my gosh, embarrassing. It was just a couple days ago.
Oh.
I feel like it was like 2 days ago, but let me just check. Batman Day 2023 was September 16th. 2 days ago. See? Look at me. How is it that I know, you know how it is? That I know that it was a couple days ago?
Okay, just how?
Because I'm on Facebook. I'm in the real world, dude.
And yeah.
Because Facebook is real world.
Absolutely.
All the world is Facebook world. I will tell you this. I had a conversation with a woman at church this weekend because we were back at church because it's September, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I don't watch the news. You guys can all think I'm stupid. I don't watch the news. I don't care for the news because we were not meant to carry the weight of the world. And I have been happier and less stressed as a result of it. I follow what people on my Facebook page are doing. Makes me happy. Lots of horses, lots of friends, comic book stuff. It's all positive.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when it comes to politics, until the troops show up your door,
it really makes no difference.
It really doesn't. It's
on
true.
The grand scheme of things.
And I don't mean that like that's going to happen. I just mean, it really makes no difference. It's true.
My groceries cost what my groceries cost.
Yeah.
Kelly on Earth. Sorry, not Kelly on Earth. Kel on Earth has a super chat for $4.99. Kel says, I really enjoy your drawing lessons. I have a playlist dedicated to them. What type of mechanical pencil do you use? I
use this one right here. The tape is aftermarket.
It's a Staedtler.
It's, yeah. You know what? As a matter of fact, here they are. They're just these. They're Staedtler, just plain old pencils. I bought a bunch because
Get in the drafting section.
yeah, I only had this one. I lost my other one, so it's not good to not have pencils. I just bought these and they're still sitting on my desk. So that's all they are. And for lead, right now I'm using H lead. I usually use 2H. In the summers, I always switch to H because the humidity tends to make the lead too hard for me. And it just makes it really unpleasant to try and get a line down. But then in the winter or when things are drier, I find I end up with an H. It's just a little too soft, and I end up with a lot of, like you can see around her face here, it's very dark. Actually, it doesn't show up that dark here, but it looks dark in front of me. And I'll erase it in a second. It'll be fine, but it can build up fast.
Blair says, "Hey Dave, I also met you at Terrificon. You reviewed my work and I bought a Monday Night Draw book. I didn't give you a YouTube handle, but I was an 18-year-old who was drawing for 2 months. Much love."
Well, awesome. And thank you for coming by at the show and here. I remember when I was drawing for 2 months.
I was at that show and not at that show. You know, I was at that show doing
sleeping. Yeah.
Sleeping. I pretty much slept that entire weekend, and I so needed it.
Yeah.
And then I ate, and I ate so much food, I didn't need to eat for 3 days after we came home.
I
put food on top of food. My stomach was never empty, ever.
I put pants on that I haven't had on for a little while, and
fat pants.
No, unfortunately, they weren't my fat pants,
They
so they
were
were very uncomfortable. I put on so much weight over the summer just because
fat boy pants.
Yeah, we've done conventions, and I've eaten so much food. I'm very heavy right now. So I got.
We look fine.
Thank you. I can't believe you would say that. You're normally so not supportive.
Pardon? What? I'm super supportive. Maybe I'm just used to being fat now.
Oh, see, there you go. That's what I expect.
Oh, David.
So yeah, I actually Meredith's parents they joined the gym that I go to, and I said, "Oh, I'll be there this morning."
You weren't there.
I wasn't there, but you know what? In my defense, I had to play Dungeons and Dragons today. Does that sound like a defense?
No.
So I played Dungeons and Dragons today. I worked too, by the way. I didn't just sit there. I don't have time. So I sat and drew while we played, and I made nobody cares. I'm a dwarf fighter. There you go. I'll leave it at that.
People can't see my eyes rolling back in my head, but I'm sure people care. Just because I don't.
Yeah.
I don't bore people with, stories about my horses. I mean, I do. Let's be honest, I do.
Yeah, you do.
But as a general rule, it's all about you in your life. So.
Yeah.
Oh, sad news.
What's that?
Sad news for the flock.
Okay, what?
We lost our first chicken.
Oh, yes.
One of the OG girls.
Yeah, just a few days ago.
About a week ago. We buried her under a tree. We just came out to do feed at night and bring the horses in, and she'd been looking a little punky, but they're chickens. They look punky sometimes, but she was the first one that she didn't come out of her little punk.
Did you make that up, punky? Is that your?
I don't think so. Punky, monkey, junkie, flunky.
So you made it up.
Kadunky.
Okay.
That one I totally made up.
Really?
Anyway, we rest in peace, our chicken. So now, from the original 5, there were only 4. And 2 of them lay eggs like gangbusters still. They're our best layers. You know that, right?
Yeah, we've gotten a bunch more chickens and we have exactly the same amount of eggs.
I think I brought up 4. No, 6 today.
The new chickens don't like you. That's what it is.
Chickens love me.
So
They come running when they see me.
Watch this.
What am I watching?
What you're watching?
I'm watching time lag.
You're watching the ground is going to cover her feet.
No feet for you.
Here's the thing. If I was to draw her foot, it would actually come off the picture.
No feet for you.
It would
soup
come
for
off the
you.
picture. But still, regardless, yeah, I'm not drawing feet. So there you go.
Dennis Kelly says, I just realized what's been missing during cooking dinner. The sound of Meredith and Dave in the background. LOL. Welcome back again. So awesome.
There's Dennis Kelly? Who's,
Yeah.
Oh, well,
And
good to see him here.
Netherwood Park says, we say punky for firewood that's almost rotten. So there you go. Punky.
Yeah.
Extreme maybe says, did you go extra crispy original? We can't eat her. No, we can't eat her. We buried her under a tree. And she, I don't know, who knows how long she's been lying there. She was not fresh. Well, like she was fresh in the morning. I saw her that morning, but you know, it's hot, sun's out. No. And Edward Lee says, I miss Patches. You know what, Edward? I miss Patches too. We've never had another cat like Patches.
Yeah.
She was 1 in a million. We have that inside princess kitten, but you know what? You never see her. And then she comes up on the bed at night when I'm sleeping and wakes me up because she insists on lying in between my legs and trapping me in the blankets.
Yeah.
And as someone with claustrophobia, there are times I'm like, get off. Like the only time she wants attention is when I'm sleeping at night.
She loves you though.
She does. It would help if Otis didn't chase her around the house. Poor girl. Justin Joins has a super chat for $5. Welcome back, David Meredith. We missed you so much. We missed you guys too. We really did.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised how easy it was to talk Meredith into coming back. She didn't want to for a while, and it's not doing the show. It's just staying up. It was really getting to be hard on her. And when she suggested we do it early and she would come back, I was pretty thrilled.
That was really the decider. If we could do it earlier.
Yeah. So I'm glad. And you guys are all here. Gerald Lang is here. Did you see that?
I already read something from him.
Oh, sorry, Gerald.
Don't pay attention. It's all right. We all know you're done. Henry Jermick, I love you. Henry Jermick says, my fear about working with Meredith is if we disagreed about whatever, then smash the wine bottle upside my head. Then I wake up, chained to a barn and shovel, now a stable boy, living off of pizza crusts. I mean, honestly, Henry, you're going to live off chicken feet. Pizza crust, my own kid can't get pizza crust right now. He's like, can we order food in? I'm like, no, we cannot order food in. You can, I always feed the chickens table scraps. I could just give Henry the table scraps with the chickens.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd be all for that. Maybe not.
This is his dream, to be my stable boy.
Oh, really? You sure about that?
I'm sure that's what he was saying.
Okay.
I feel like it. I will take stable help whenever. Greg Ellis, Static Art has a super chat for $4.99. Greg says, I left it from there, but I think it's still not placed right. So that helped. It gets worse when adding anatomy. I don't know where it goes from body to arm.
Okay. We're going to go back to that in a second, and let's finish the anatomy.
And Todd Dawson wants to know if you've drawn your D&D character.
Not yet, but I'm going to. Oops. I wasn't going to tell Meredith that.
Oh, please.
All right.
Like I didn't know that was happening.
So I've got this guy here. Let's erase this all right down because the shapes that I use are pretty blunt and be a little difficult to draw it if I don't really push it right back. All right. So I've got my chest here, and I'm still going to go a little bit blocked with the shapes. And this right here is just the turn in form of the chest. That would be the side of the chest right there. And now I'm going to go ahead and draw my shoulder. That attaches to the chest. It actually rounds just like that onto it. And then striations go into the chest like this. We're not going to worry about that too much, though. So this is all kind of one piece. As much as there's a connection that I'm drawing there, it really kind of reads like one piece. And then I'm going to draw my bicep here. It's all foreshortened. And so I've got this line in front of this one because this is closer to us. And so I want to make sure that anything that's closer to us, I'm overlapping in front of anything that's behind. It makes a big difference to the illusion. Same thing here. My tricep is going to connect in here, and my arm is going to connect right here. And I've got a little muscle here underneath the bicep. And then this connects in here, and my tricep goes there. There's a little band essentially here. And then the back of my deltoid is here, and then my lat is here, and it connects in to my rib cage and the latissimus dorsi. I think that's right. Anyway, these little thingies here. And there's a bit of a cavity in here. I got to be honest, in that cavity, I get a little lost sometimes, truth be told. And this muscle is actually two muscles. So it kind of comes up in like that. And now I've got my forearm, which I'm going to draw as one big shape, just like that, and attach it. I can draw a little elbow in there. I don't think you'd see it, and then the hand, we're not going to go into that, but there you go. That's more of the actual anatomy from that angle. Let's do the other side too. We'll make it quick. So here's the other side. Here's my, I keep wanting to say shoulder, my deltoid attaching in. And then there's a basic shape for where I want my arm to be. So there's my bicep. I'm going to draw it like a flat shape. And then my tricep, I want like I'm drawing my arm as if it's a flat shape back like that. And I'm going to do my forearm back from there. And I would draw more like a rounded shape. And then, the other hand. So there you go. Still simplified, but it really does come down to the basic shapes. The details, they're important to make something look nice and detailed. But unless the basic stuff is really kind of working, it falls apart. So there you go.
Okay. Fenrir One Wolf. I think I said that right. My ordinary eyes aren't working. I think it's Fenrir One Wolf. This is my first Monday night draw. I usually miss this because I work Monday nights. It's an awesome honor to be here to take part in this live stream. Dave, keep the D&Ding up, man.
I will. We had a great time. We spent about an hour, maybe an hour and a half getting all our characters set, and then kind of going over the lore.
Oh my gosh, see right there. An hour and a half getting your character set. I am so out.
Bear in mind though, we're not just
patience for that.
Yeah, but we're talking. We're hanging out.
Well, I remember we did this once with a friend, and that burned for me forever. That bridge got burned.
That was the end of it.
That was the end of it. David Iron says, "G'day, Dave and Meredith from New Zealand. Missed you guys." Hey, from New Zealand.
And he's up.
It's 12 hours.
Late or early?
24 hours. Like
so
it's
early.
12 hours.
Early, right?
Yeah, it's like 8 o'clock.
Well, thank you for being here.
Henry says, Meredith, yeah, table scrap sounds good to me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
See, I knew it. I knew it would.
He's being nice.
Extreme Maybe says, almost forgot about Book of the Week. Is Meredith going to sing? Do I have access to the soundboard?
Yeah, it's all right here. Here, hold on.
Is there music?
There should be. I'm going to hit it and we'll see what happens. Can you guys hear that? Is that making noise? It worked. Can you guys hear that? Okay, I'm going to shut it off. I don't think it ever ends.
All right,
Book of the Week.
Book of the Week.
I do.
We literally talked over the music for Book of the Week. Hold on.
Don't do it again.
Book of the week. Book of the week. Because people have missed me singing.
No.
Book of the week. Book of
Okay.
the.
We're good. Thank you.
I need headphones so I can like hear the music. Add
So
in all these sound effects. Get back to the sound effect night. It's
okay. So the book of the week this time is a little self-serving because I did a cover for it. So there's the cover,
it's so self-serving.
but not really, because this is by Raphael Grandpa, and this just came out. Actually, it just came out, or maybe it's might not be out yet. I don't know. I think maybe it comes out on Wednesday.
I don't know.
Anyway, it's coming soon. And I mean, look at this stuff. Like every panel. So Raphael Grandpa for me is, in a lot of ways, he's a very European kind of an artist. Like these sorts of panels, the detail and just the composition. I mean, that is such a beautiful panel. That is a difficult kind of a shot to pull off too. Like just making everything really work at such a low angle. I love how the car is actually kind of pushed up out of perspective a little bit, you could argue, but it's so much more dramatic that way, and it just works. And that's like making the kinds of choices like that, taking that car and putting a little out of perspective just to give it like a little punch. It just rocks. And so all of these pages, I mean, I could talk about all of them. I love the way he draws his faces. They have so much character. His rendering, it's very, again, European, but his influences are so broad that it's hard for me to even really place it. He's a very, very original artist. And that right there is one of the coolest shots of Batman of all time. That is such an iconic shot. He's entirely in silhouette. I think there's just a little bit of a halo, but there's just so much drama in that pose and just the shot in general. But we're going to keep moving because as much as this stuff is great, the choreography, by the way, is amazing. And look at this. These faces have the most ridiculous, huge eyes, but it looks great. Like to pull that off that is not easy, to go that far in cartooning and have it really work in the world that you're creating. Because he's got a pretty realistic world, despite all of the cartooning. It's really, really impressive. And a very cool new villain. But this is where, for me, things really, it just blows me away, this book. I mean, that looks truly amazing. I love, this is his costume too, by the way. And it's a great costume design. But he just has so much movement and power in his poses. I mean, that's a great shot of Batman right here. Look at that. But every shot is like, that is a great shot, just well choreographed. I don't want to ruin the whole book, but at the same time, and I'm passing over so much incredible stuff. Like every page is really, it's a work of art, and it looks like it took him forever. I don't know how long this book took to draw. It must have taken a long, long time. But there are some shots of Batman. Like that is an amazing looking shot of Batman. And I just love the page design. And this is an example of, it's not usually my preference to break panel borders because it can really start to make things pretty confusing. But this is how you can do it really, really well. And look at the boots even. Just, yeah, he's some of the best artists. You know, not only are they great at drawing and dynamics and lighting and composition, but even just design. I mean, look at that shot. And I can't think of a shot that I would compare it to. This is a great shot here too. Some of it really reminds me a lot of old Joe Quesada's artwork, which you guys know I'm a massive fan of. But some of the best stuff for me, I can't look at it and say, that reminds me of a pose by this person. Maybe it's a little different. Like this is just fresh. I mean, look at that. It's just a great shot. He's got a shot of Batman coming out of the car here that looks very, very cool. There's another one where he's like jumping out of the car. Maybe I'll find it. Look at that. Great shot. I'm going to find, there's one more. That one. That was it. And this is Batman jumping out of his car. I don't even know what to say about that. And what really gets me about it is I tried to lay out a cover with Batman with the Batmobile. I wanted him jumping out of it like this. I thought it'd be a really cool, dramatic kind of a shot. I could not pull it off. Like sometimes I just, what's in my head, it just doesn't work. Part of the problem is you're working with a format where it needs to be vertical. I couldn't make it work. And then I saw this, and yeah, that is exactly. I can't even say that's not what was in my head. I wish I could say it was what was in my head. But yeah, it's masterful. You can put a logo right there, and that's an incredible cover. It should be a cover. They should do that as an alternate cover. It's my suggestion. Another great shot. Look at it. You know what? Here, look at this one. Some of the best stuff. And by the way, this is not the shortest book, and we're getting toward the end of the book, and he still has shots like this going on everywhere. A lot of times you get further in a book and things start to, you can see, the things get a little bit more loose as people lose time and, lose interest. And I don't see any of that here. This is a great, great book all the way around. And it's only book one. I cannot wait for the next one. So yeah. And it's a good story, actually. I read the story. It's good. To be honest, I'm more of a, art fan just in general anyway, but yeah, a great, great book. So, highly recommend it. So there you go. Book of the week. Raphael Grandpa with Batman Gargoyle Gotham issue 1.
All right. And I'm going to end that with start back up with Greg Alesthetic Arts super chat for $1.99 saying thank you so much. Extremely helpful as always. He's referring to your armpit tutorial.
Oh, good.
But I think we all feel the same way about your books of the week.
Well, they're not very helpful. It's mostly me going, wow, look at how cool that looks.
People like.
I don't have.
You learn as an artist from looking at other artists.
You do. I wish I had more insightful insight. I really don't. But Monday night, or the book of the week is just a chance for me to go, wow, look at how cool that looks.
I really loved it.
Looks awesome.
If I forget it, let me tell you, we're gonna know.
I've got some really good ones lined up, actually, too. It is a nice thing about being gone for just a little bit. I've got a whole lot of great books of the week lined up.
Do you?
Meredith.
Larnell Anthony has a super chat for $5. Hey, what are your thoughts on setting up panels and layouts for webtoon style comics? And this is Larnell's first super chat.
Well, thank you very much, Larnell. I wish I had a better answer. I don't know, actually. Maybe if somebody in the chat has some idea of like some resources for that. I know they must be out there. I mean, it's a popular medium and so many people do it, but the truth is I have no experience with it. So my guess is it really would be just a total guess. I don't know at all.
Atlas77 wants to know, hey, Dave, what pen are you using to shade with?
This is a Pentel. It actually screws backwards. So if I turn it right, it unscrews. It's here's what I know. It's all in Japanese, so I actually don't know what it's called. But I do know that if you go onto Amazon and you type in Pentel brush pen, you'll have to search down just a little bit but this is what they call it on Amazon too. Anyway, you can find these. If you do get these, they're great because they're refillable. So you just get these cartridges and you plug it in there and you can keep going. Make sure to get the gray ones and not the black ones. The black ones are more water soluble. You can move them around for a lot longer and they can be a real pain to ink with. I'm sure they're great for what they do, but for what I'm doing, they're not great. I made that mistake. I've made every mistake you could possibly make. I even bought these in gray before. They come in different colors. I didn't realize it was gray. And I got like a third of the way through the picture thinking, what is going on? Like, is there something wrong with the ink? I finally realized I'm using gray.
A third of the way through the picture? It took you to figure that out?
And it did. Look, my default is I'm making a mistake. Like it's me. It was me because I bought the wrong thing, but I don't default to my tools are bad.
Well, that's the humbleness of the day.
I wouldn't think of it that way. I really wouldn't default to it because I've been using these for ages. And I just never had bought the wrong one and I didn't realize they came. So I'm thinking I'm using the same tool I always use. So it's just not really what popped into my head.
The Jenga Ninja says, did you know they use gray ink pens for writing their names in funerals? At funerals in the guest book.
Really?
There you go.
It's very interesting. I have no idea why that would be.
Necrostroyer says, Dave, I have an amazing recommendation for both a book and a brush.
Okay.
Sorry, it is past my bedtime now. The book is Wolverine Weapon X book by Barry Windsor Smith. I'm sure you have that book.
Have I not done that as a book of the week? Maybe not. I've got it.
And the brush is Bimoji Brush Pen by Kuritake.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to write that down.
B-I-M.
Oh, B. Sorry.
I-M.
I-M.
O-J-I.
O-J-I.
Brush Pen by K-U-R.
I know the brand.
E-T-A-K-I.
I'm not writing that.
Yeah,
all right.
Write it. Write it down.
Write it down. Write it. Yeah, I'm going to try it. Thank you. You know what? This would not be the first time that I've tried something and it hasn't been for me. And I'm totally okay with that because you never know when it is. And since we're all different, like everybody's hand just is a little different. I know what works for me isn't necessarily what is the most comfortable for somebody else. So yeah, I'm always all for finding out, especially something I use as much as this. When I find something better, it just makes so much of a difference. Did I what?
Did you deliberately slow down because you're like, hey, we're making good time and now I'm going to slow down?
No, I'm going as quick as I can. I have not slowed down. Does it seem so? It always seems slower. The rough end goes quicker. I'm going as fast as I can, Meredith. You're just getting more tired.
I don't get more tired. I'm telling you, 8 o'clock is like lights out. I'm gonna do it. Just be grateful I'm only going an hour past my bedtime. 10 o'clock is untenable. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Can we see the gun? Shane Shabazzi says, can we see the gun you're working on?
Sorry.
Get it on the screen, Dave.
It's all right.
Get it on the screen.
I really shouldn't be doing.
Let me bore everybody with. No, I'm not going to bore with insurance.
Oh, good.
Although I got to find out when my farm sign's coming.
Yeah.
That was my birthday present this year.
It was that Meredith ultimately planned herself. Meredith's parents are not thrilled that I did that, but
they're not. Did they tell you that?
No, but I know I'm not, that stupid. I know they wanted it to be a surprise.
Yeah, well, you know what's going to sit on my property for 30 years? I should have some input.
There was no way I was going to make a decision like that without
for a farm sign.
Yeah, I could see all of that going wrong in a lot of ways. So I decided maybe it's better to talk to you about what you want.
Yep, it was better. Moises Ramos has a super chat for $1.99. The key to creating dynamic poses. What's key?
What is key? Thank you, by the way.
And that's Moises' first super chat. Lots of first timers tonight. The
key to creating dynamic poses, I could give you all kinds of theory and knowledge, and there are some books out there that are very, very good. And I think they're useful in their way. But really, as far as I'm concerned, the real key to it, what will make all the difference in the world that should be around, is finding artists that do it well, with poses that you like, and copying them. You guys can kind of see just in the upper right corner, that figure there, about that loose. You don't need much. This is my layout for this picture here. What you want to do is just go through any book. Like I was looking at the Raphael Grandpa Batman book, and just copy a bunch of figures from there like this and do hundreds, thousands of them. The more you do, the more natural you'll get. You actually develop a mental library of those kinds of poses. You will not do that by looking at it. No matter how much you like a pose and are familiar with it from looking at it, you need to draw it and try it. And that's how you develop a broad range of dynamic poses. Now the other option is life drawing, which I recommend too, of course. I have not done really a lot of life drawing, so whatever. But considering that we're doing comics here, and comics is not life, and you want things to be larger than life and bigger, like in a Hollywood fight, everybody projects their arms out all the way for every punch, like it's full send, all the way through. Well, if you actually fight like that, if you watch the UFC, nobody does that, because any good counter striker will take you apart doing that. So people are much more compact. things are much quicker, but it's not as dramatic. And so my point is that when you're drawing comic characters, heroes, and those kinds of things, working from life is great, but you're going to get something, more extreme and dynamic by looking at some of the best artists out there. So that's the key. That's how I learned. Everybody that I've seen get really good at it, that's also how they've done it. And it's a piece of advice I give all the time. I find that it gets taken up enough that it's worth saying it, and it doesn't get taken up enough that it's frustrating, because it really is the answer. More than any kind of theory. Once you start going into theory, you start intellectualizing, and it's that can be important too, but so much of dynamic figures are really about feel, and you need to get a feel for it. And the way to do that is to do it. And you won't get better if you just draw your own poses. You need to steal from the best. And ideally, what you want to do is do it enough that when you draw your own work, you can just create your own poses. Now they're going to be heavily influenced by the poses that you were drawing, but they become your own. As opposed to just, I need to draw somebody running. So you go through a bunch of things and find a pose and draw it based on reference. You don't want to be in that position. You want to be in the position of being able to just create it out of your head. And that is the way to do
it. Right. Okay, Jess says, must be nice having a sleep system. You have to have the older you get, you must have sleep.
You do, more and more.
Dan Castelli has a super chat for $1.99. Welcome back, bitch bam!
Good to see Dan here. I think he must have just showed up.
I think so. Oh, and Darth Highland wants to know, what are you referencing for this picture?
Nothing.
Your head.
Yeah, I've drawn her a bunch of times.
Lord Commander says, just order that Batman book on Amazon. They only have 5 left.
Oh, awesome. Well, and thank you.
And Saman Kucher Bernabe says, it's Supersonico. People here with your incognito names. Adversity Art has a super chat for $4.99.
Who's Supersonico?
He's been here.
I know who that is, but who?
Saman Kucher. Hey, David.
Oh, I know who that is too, though.
Well, there you go. Hey, David Meredith. I hope you guys had a great summer. Always. Anyways, have you been to the Cincinnati Comic Expo? Lastly, any tips on sketching? No, we've not been to Cincinnati Comic
No, yeah, I've never been to that one. Maybe one of these days. Tips on sketching? Yeah, okay. To be honest, really what I was just saying, and that is you need to treat sketching like school. So much of learning how to draw is you have to be actively learning. You can't just be drawing for fun. I mean, I hate to say it that way. It is fun. I love doing it. But it needs to be more than that. You need to be strategic. So when you're sketching, sketch from life, and decide the kind of artist you want to be too. If you want to be a very natural, kind of a more real world sort of an artist, then obviously you really want to, I need to fix this. You really want to focus on that. If you want to draw more dynamic kind of comics and superheroes, you really need to focus on looking at other artists, and don't ever be ashamed at being influenced by and heavily influenced by other artists, especially when you start. Everybody does it. A lot of people don't like to talk about it. I've definitely found that over the years. Some artists really are very reluctant to admit that they look at other artists and pick up, techniques and skill from other artists, but we all do. Even the ones that won't admit it.
Dan Castelli has a super chat for $4.99. Dan says, to say I was disappointed I couldn't make it up to Baltimore Comic-Con is an understatement. How was it, and will you be back next year?
I'll be back next year. It was great. It really was great, and I'm sorry you couldn't make it. So Baltimore is a very comic focused show. A lot of shows. It's my favorite show. A lot of shows, most shows have a lot of celebrity guests, which is great. Not to down the celebrity guests, obviously, but it becomes much more of a like. There's an anime side to it, and there's the celebrities and cosplay and all these different things, which are all great. But as a comic artist, it really is nice to go to a show that really celebrates comics. So they've really stuck with their roots quite a bit that way, and I love them for it, and a lot of fans do too. So it always does very, very well.
My sister went for the first time.
Yeah. Meredith's sister was at the show. She was working the booth, and she was great. Made a big difference. So yeah, no Meredith. Meredith's sister was there.
No Meredith.
Good.
Still got the cough.
Yeah. Some things never change.
Some things never change. That's how you know it's me.
Right.
It's like my trademark at this point.
Yep. That and the yelling.
Pardon?
Nothing.
That and you yelling?
I said that and the yelling.
The yelling
Yeah.
or the singing.
Or the singing. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to another season of Happy Birthdays. I know it's your favorite.
Yeah. I kind of can't believe we managed to make it this far without it happening.
Well, clearly nobody's had a birthday.
Yeah. And thank you all for that.
Birthday. Stop. Or I'll just sing to myself. Sam says he was just surprised to see Supersonico on a live stream. Saman Kucher. Baron B says I was surprised to see Supersonico on live stream.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I see Sonico a lot in the comments.
Michaela says, I just finished copying Bridgman's Life Drawn book for the first time. I feel like I got 10 level ups from that. Thank you so much for writing that roadmap post, David.
Well, very welcome. I'm so glad that you took it and ran with it. It really, he just has such a great sense of form, it's like I don't know how I'm trying to phrase that in like more of a articulate way, but it's form, and it's foundational form, and his way of describing it is incredible, and it really does make a big difference, and it's something that will stay with you forever. A lot of those simple construction methods and ways of thinking about more complex forms that can be really confusing, being able to break them down into something that not only is simple, but it has a really great dynamic kind of a feel, like a very solid feel. He's great. So I'm glad that you did that and it worked out for you.
Jason Paul Perkins Art. Dave, I'm a huge fan of Tim Sale and Mike Mignola. Who else would you recommend if I want to cultivate more of that style of cartooning and lighting?
Dave Johnson. 100%. Dave Johnson is great. And he's such a great designer too. And I think he's a really good complement to Mike Mignola because they're both very design focused, but very different. They're not similar at all. They're similar in the sense that it's a lot of really great black and white, playing with contrast, and layering darks on lights for depth. They do that, but it's done so differently that, yeah, I really recommend that. The other one I recommend a lot, not just for that, for backgrounds, composition, is Eduardo Rizzo. And that starts to get more into Frank Miller territory. He's got a lot in common with Frank Miller, but he's phenomenal. I'd recommend that. But for somebody that's more kind of design oriented, and like the first name that I think of when I think, like when you say that, is Dave Johnson. I've been bugging Dave Johnson to come on the channel, and he said that he would, but he's also busy. So maybe one day we'll get him on.
All right. Jeff Hamill says, It's my birthday today.
Jeff.
Black Tiger.
Why?
Black Tiger says, my birthday is in the off season. Guess what, Black Tiger? So is mine. So you know what's happening here. Happy birthday to Jeff, Black Tiger, and Meredith. Happy birthday to Jeff, Black Tiger, and Meredith. Happy birthday to Jeff, Black Tiger, Meredith, and anybody else who has a birthday in the off season. Happy birthday to us. Because it wouldn't be Monday Night Draw if I wasn't singing. And the only thing that isn't happening is people seeing your embarrassed face in the camera.
Okay, you're good. Thank you.
I could keep going.
No.
Come on.
I could draw slower.
No. Hansel in the Cloud says a super chat for $5. How to get better at inking shadows. It's scary. Besides understanding lighting, do you have a design language in mind in the shape of your strokes?
I do. And as a matter of fact, actually, speaking of design language, I have a video on, I called it shape language. Shape language, it covers so much ground, and different people use it differently. So in the sense that I meant it, it was basically what I'm doing now. I'd really recommend taking a look at that. It really kind of goes into depth about exactly how I think about my shapes when I do this. I would highly recommend that you don't do what I'm doing right now, and that is just blocking in your shadows with a brush. I do this because, first of all, I've been doing this for a long time, so that really helps. Also, if I was to draw this completely and then ink it, Meredith would be long asleep. So it's kind of economizing a little bit, and I've got my white out. So when I screw up, like on that leg, it's too much and I don't like it, and we're going to fix it. I'm going to have to go over it twice too, because this stuff, it sinks in, then it doesn't look good. And there, it looks a lot better. I'm going to have to go over that again, but I forgot what I was saying now. Oh, right. Yeah. So I've got my overall lighting coming from the top left, and let me draw a diagram of what my light looks like, because I could draw, here's my light coming from the top left like that. But then it really is, if I drew a sphere, it would just be completely on the other side. You know what? Maybe a sphere is not the best example. I don't know what the best example is. Whatever. I'm drawing that totally flat, which means that, like, if I lit this totally flat, his face would be heavily shadowed. Like this whole side would be pretty shadowed. Maybe you see a little bit there. And you would get, assuming I go with a dark high contrast lighting, which is what I like, I would end up with a shadow that is really, really extreme because it's coming directly from the side. So your only light is hitting that side plane of his face. But what I'm doing is lighting like this. So it's pointed into the figure. And that means that my highlight would be basically here on his head. And so you get a lot less shadow. And so on this figure, my highlight would be here on the arm. And it actually, and you won't see this here, if this was painted, it would actually start to gradate toward, if that's a word, toward a darker, not shadow, but it would go darker toward the edge because the highlight is in the middle. It's not on the edge. And same way through the face. And then in terms of lightness and darkness, this is a lot more contrasty and it's darker, so it's got a lot more shadow. Her face, I don't really want to go in there and do a heavy shadow on her face, especially with female characters. I try to be a little bit more circumspect when it comes to lighting. If this is a male figure, it would have more shadow. I have learned from experience that I can destroy a figure pretty quickly with too much shadow. A female figure. I need to leave it still a little wet. All right. Wake up.
I'm awake. I'm reading through the stream. And William Wolford reminded me, hey, Dave. Oh, no, that's not the right one. Sorry, I'll read that one too. But Bao BXO Kurdistan says, awesome. Monday Night Draws back. Has Meredith asked people to like the stream? She usually does halfway through the stream. You know what I have not done yet? And we've got like half an hour left. Ask people to hit the like button.
There you
And
go.
we're already at 5:04. I'm going to be 5:05. 5:06. Oh, we are going to get to 600 easily by the end of the night. So that's it.
Well, that's
I've
great.
been reminded by Boire. Now you have to hit the like button. And William Wolford's question was, hey, Dave, do you have any more tutorial videos in the works or ones that recently came out in the past 6 months?
I do. I have the shape language one that came out about 2 months ago. I do have a few that I have been promising to do and have not done.
Because you don't have time.
It's been tough, but yeah, now that we're kind of gearing back up with Monday Night Draw, part of the problem too is, I mean, I hate to say it, but I get so busy with work and the conventions too, that I kind of forget I have a channel sometimes, and then it kind of slips, like it stops being on the schedule, and I need to put it back on the schedule and get some more videos out. And doing this again, really, part of it reminds me.
That you have a community?
Yeah, what we have here, all of you guys.
That they love you.
Love is a strong word, Meredith.
You stop. I love you. You know I do.
All right.
Sassy pants.
Oh my gosh. Get through this as quick as we can before you fall apart and start getting sappy.
I've already sung happy birthday and people were thanking me.
Yeah.
All the people whose birthdays are in the off season were saying thank you.
Ah, well, there you go. That's nice.
Because it was all the off season, and Black Tiger did apologize to you.
Too late.
Yeah. You brought it on. You did it on purpose. Brought it on yourself. And Toby Mine was like, encore, encore. So, people just going to tell me it's their birthday now.
Some people like pain.
Some people like pain. Extreme maybe says, I totally missed you guys in the chat. It's true. Chat's the best. I mean, really, I'm the best, but so's the chat. And then there's you. And the drawing.
Yeah.
You're like number 3.
That's all right.
It is like, I do miss the chat.
Yeah.
And Dan Genovese says, Dave secretly loves the birthday singing. You know you do.
Yeah.
You do love it. I can start singing.
Hey, Dan Genovese's here. He said he didn't think he was going to be able to be here earlier on.
Dan's
so
here. He's been here the whole night.
Well, that's great. I'm glad he
Not
was.
paying attention. Who's the sleepy one here?
It's not that I'm not paying attention.
You
It's
are not paying
that I'm
attention.
not paying attention. All right. Well, anyway, I'm glad he's here.
JDSCT says the truest statement of the night. Best community on YouTube. Bar none.
Absolutely.
100%. And we're already at 551 likes. That was 3 minutes ago that I asked. So there you go. Nikki Elazarti says, the list is Meredith, drawing, the horses, the chickens, the couch, and then there's David.
Yeah.
Well, I've clearly not talked about the horses enough tonight then.
See, I'm not bringing the personality. That's all you, Meredith.
Nah.
I can talk.
Here's the thing.
I can talk about drawing. I got
You're
that.
so likable.
All right. Would you freaking stop?
Moving
on.
Like we've hit 8:30 and you did open yourself up to that one.
Yeah.
You said you weren't bringing the personality. Now I'm just going to say
All right.
likable. Tom McCart says, I'm now Kenny Wang. Click that like button. Where is Kenny Wang?
Is he not here?
He is not here. Maybe he's outgrown us. Sorry, no Kenny Wang.
Maybe he has.
That's right. We got Tom.
Yeah, we do.
We got
Henry.
We've got Henry.
Dan. Yep.
We've got
Brad Scott's here.
We've got too many people. JDSCT.
Yep.
So many. If I start naming people,
then you won't.
Then I won't
right.
name someone.
I know. Yeah.
And then everybody's going to be left out.
Yes.
So I'll just say I love you all. Extreme maybe says Tom McWang.
See, Extreme Maybe's here.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah, you're right. We'll all wait for you to get over the cough.
Ray Vasquez wants to know,
Dave
Finch, what is your advice on inking? I've been struggling.
Okay, now I'm going to start by saying that inking, I hear a lot that people that are more comfortable with penciling, moving over to ink is very, very difficult because a lot of things that you were happy with end up getting lost and kind of stiff, and it loses a lot of character. The reason for that, and it is a flaw in the penciling, um, what it is not making decisions really, really clearly in the penciling. And so when you get to inking, if you're not as experienced as obviously you will eventually get, you can't avoid those things that are a little easier to fudge with pencil, and it ends up being a problem. So there's that. Just from like a more broad kind of a problem, not really technical. And as far as technical goes, there are a lot of ways to ink. The way that I'm inking right now is I'm using all synthetic tools. So I used my Micron 01. It's the only size I use because if I go bigger, it's too big. If I go smaller than this, I end up spending 10 days on a picture. So I limit myself to that one, and I find it's worked out well for me. And your results will vary. So, take that for what it is. And then I use my brush pen, and then I finally use, these are Furunosuke Tombos. Anyway, there's a Tombow brush pens. They're not like this where it's an actual brush. It's like a hard tip, but they're flexible, and I use those, and I'll be bringing that out in just a second once I've got all my shadows blocked in. What time are we looking at? 8:37. Yeah, I'm starting to run out of time too, so we need to get the show on the road.
Yeah, get along moving there, little doggy. All right. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Super chat from Solohan for $4.99. When are you doing another painting tutorial with Ariel Olivetti? The last one was awesome and so much fun to follow along.
We tried to get Ariel to do one almost right after. He was too busy, and we haven't followed up. I need to follow up with him and plan another one. I think that there's so much to learn from him. He is so incredible. I'm torn. I want to do watercolor with him because he does it beautifully, and I would love to try it. At the same time, I'm a much bigger fan of acrylic, and that's what I'm pursuing. And so just, from like a selfish standpoint, I'd want to do more acrylic with him, but I think I'd like to do watercolor, and I need to see if we can get him on to do it. So yeah, he was such a great guest.
Paul Essenson has a super chat for $7.99. Welcome back. This has been missing from my week. Dave, how's the Create Your Own project coming along?
Almost done. Yeah, almost done. And good to see you here. How long have I been almost done? I know. I actually just got in a lot of trouble over my Create Your Own project. Just for, doing too many things that weren't it, and it taking forever. So it is officially entirely my fault now. And it's the last little bit of it is getting done now.
Jim Klein has a super chat for $20. Welcome back, DNM. Glad to see the show's back. D, while most female characters have heroic proportions, some have slight builds. Think Kitty Pryde. Any tips on drawing them and so they look like adult as opposed to teens?
Drawn thinner, but looking like an adult. Well, the number one key to that is to not get too big with the head. A larger head definitely indicates a younger person, and that can have a big effect that way. So you want to make sure if your head is more adult proportion to the body, it will look more mature. So that really will do that right away. And then the difference between a thinner character, like a thinner female character, and one that's okay. So the difference between I have more room because I don't have all the other stuff on the screen. So I'm going to draw a male chest, and that's basically how I would approach it, just like that. Maybe a little longer. My chest goes here, And then, the head would be here. And that works fine for a man. But if you do that for a woman, and obviously, with the caveat that everybody's different. So, I don't want to suggest that, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, to make that female, what I need to do is I'm going to draw another one here instead of trying to fix this one. I'm going to draw the same thing. And what I'm going to do is just make it a lot more narrow. And when I do it, I tend to think, I don't think that I'm doing it narrow. I think that I'm doing it longer. So if that helps, just think of it as being this shape, but just much, much longer. And so when I draw the chest, it's going to be here, and the breasts end up going lower than the chest line here. And then the arm attaches relatively small, and you can see how that works much better for a female proportion than this, which is much wider. And that really is the big difference. And then obviously, once you get here, you're going to have a little bit more of a wider hip. But yeah, that would be it. Now, if I want to make this, let's make this Wonder Woman. So what I'm not going to do is change the proportions of her body. I don't want to make that too wide. You could, but you have to be very careful. So let me grab the other sharpener. That one's a little dead. All right. You can hear the difference, right? So I'm going to go ahead and just clean this up a little bit. So I'd like to go a little bit wider with her hips than I would go with like a Kitty Pryde. And for her arm, I'm going to give her a nice defined shoulder. I don't want to go too big with her arm, muscular wise. And, a bit more of a defined forearm. Again, I want to be careful to not get too carried away. You still want it to look feminine, unless you don't. And for the other shoulder, and so here's her head here. I don't want to give her a thicker neck. That's usually not a good choice. So that really works. And that ends up looking a little bit bigger. If I want to make her look more like a really thin, like Kitty Pryde, I'm going to go ahead and just redraw that arm and go thinner and less defined with it. And then with the hips, I'm going to bring those in and go much thinner. I think I'm actually going to bring this in just a little bit more too, so she doesn't have quite such a barrel chest. And obviously her breasts would be smaller. So I am actually changing. After I said, I'm not changing that, I'm changing it. But there you go. That's just a much thinner kind of a body for a woman. All right.
All right.
I'd have to open these things until I find one that...
You got 17 minutes.
17 minutes. All right. We'll do what we can. These things never end up getting... Like, if I don't finish it before Meredith goes to bed, they just never get done. So...
Kella Serena says, welcome back. I'm sorry for jumping in late, but it's awesome to hear you both.
Well, thank you for being here.
Navy Sharks is here. Hello, Finch Block.
It's the whole crew.
Nut Dealer says, Funedosuke is pronounced Fudenosuke. Fudenosuke.
Fudenosuke.
Where the lower case letters are less emphasized.
That sounds better right away, doesn't it?
Yep.
So there you go.
Fudenosuke.
I wonder what it means. Like if it's a brand or a brush type. My guess it would be a brush type.
Capto KO wants to know if you will ever get Bart Sears for the stream.
Yeah, and I've talked to him. Actually, I talked to him last summer, and we kind of made some plans, and then we're busy all the time. I would really, really like to get him on. That's something. You know what we need to do, Meredith, is I would like to give you a list, and because what I need is help to pursue it. I don't have time to be trying to schedule the stuff.
If you can afford my secretarial rates.
Yeah. And Eric is doing all the scheduling, but he's also very busy.
Here's what I'm going to say. I think a little book where you write down what you would like,
Yeah.
and I will do it as I have time. And I think it'll still get done faster than if you were to do it yourself.
Yeah. Well, Eric has been incredibly busy lately. He's
Eric is busy picking his nose. He's got no job.
wow. Yeah. No. He's got a full time.
What are you doing with your life, man?
He's got a full-time job,
No way.
a family, and he's actually been working professionally
Stop.
painting stuff he can't show yet, which is not,
Eric not
the
doing
most fun.
nothing.
But yeah, he's been overwhelmed.
JK, we love Eric. You know we do. I wouldn't have let him come visit if I didn't.
That's right.
That or Dave tied me to a chair.
Yeah.
Dan Castelli has a super chat for $1.99. Dan wants to know, have you tried water-based oil paints? I love them.
I have, and I do love them, and then I don't. And my reasoning is, okay, so the Batman picture, which apparently I wasn't supposed to show you guys.
No.
So that is largely colored pencil, I'll tell you right now. And I can get detail that is almost impossible to get with a brush and paint, especially a thicker medium like oil paint. So I do, like, there's a lot of brush going on in there too. Like the sky is done with a brush and paint. Most of Batman's figure was done with a brush and a paint, but a lot of the smaller detail. So the reason I don't like oil is because it limits what I can do if I want to use colored pencil, which I really, really like using. It's a great tool to have, you know, if I want to put a highlight on a character or, you know, any kind of detail, like Joker's face is entirely colored pencil, you know, and the minute I pull out oil paint, I am not able to do that anymore. That's why. So it's like a mixed media approach, just based on the fact that there are limitations to each one. And I'm just kind of like, if I work with oil, I'm using oil. And I mean, you know, there are incredible oil painters, obviously, that are a testament to how much you can do with oil and how much you don't really need to use anything else. I just really prefer using that stuff. You know, it's all subject to change.
All right. In and Out has a super chat for $10. What is Dave's opinion on light boxes?
I think they're great. I use one sort of. And I've got a light box, actually. The main light box that I use, though, is my computer screen. So what I do, and I do this all the time, I lay out a cover, and I do it fairly loosely, but enough to get everything kind of in there. And then I don't want to have to completely start from scratch again. So I just lay a paper up on my screen. I size the layout properly, and I quickly trace. And it's quick. I mean, I don't get a lot in there, but I get enough that all my figures and the general pose is kind of restated on the page, so I don't have to redo it. So I use it as a regular part of my workflow.
And oopsie. Best name I can think of has a super chat for $5. Hey Dave, I'm a longtime fan of your work. Just curious, do you have any tips for drawing scars on the character?
Yeah, actually. And I remember best name I can think of. You remember? You must. Okay. So drawing scars on characters is very similar to drawing. You know what? I'm going to pretend this is part of an arm. Here we go. If I draw a vein, I'm going to draw a vein up this shape. My light is coming, we're going to say, from here. So let's draw a couple of different directions off of it. What I want to do is only draw what I'm drawing, essentially a tube across the arm. And when you see somebody do that on a figure, and I see this every once in a while, it looks very artificial. So I'm going to do basically a negative space drawing. I'm only drawing one side of this tube like this. And I'll just leave the other stuff not there. And because I can just do that like this, I'm drawing the underside of this shape here. I'm going to have a break here because this connects to it. And that's really how I'd approach a vein across something, to have it not get overpowering and look fake by doing the line on both sides, which instantly makes things look much more artificial. You can see that killed it kind of right away. So a scar, let's do our sphere again. We got the same lighting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my kind of a jagged scar shape across it, just like that. And what I want to do is kind of create a bit of a ridge here and a ridge here, and then a cavity in the center. This is like a pretty serious scar. So I'm drawing, well, you'll see how this goes. I'm drawing, this is my upper part here. This is my lower part that's separated by the scar. And now I'm going to draw, this is the line of the other side of the scar. I'm not drawing that line. I'm drawing basically a ridge, essentially doing this kind of behind it. I don't want to go too carried away with it, but that's basically what I'm doing. And this is using line weight. So there you go. I've got that. Now what I'm going to do is just draw some kind of crossways, kind of cavity sort of detail in there. I'd already kind of screwed it up a little bit. See how I was drawing, here's a line, here's another line, here's another line. It was looking very fake right away. You want to have a bigger shape here and then a couple smaller shapes and make it look like a canyon of, like, you know, scar. And then I like to render out of it. I'll do that here, just a little bit here because I know Meredith wants to go to bed. And then I'm going to render, I'm going to break my rendering, and see, breaking that rendering instantly creates a light without having to draw that line there. And I'm going to continue that rendering here, and then give this a little bit of rendering. And I can create a lot of, you know, depth in that shape. And that's how I would create like a really heavy scar.
All right. Anthony G says apparently, I'm not going to say it right now, but that Phonotosoke means brush that helps.
Ah, helpful brush.
Yeah.
It's a good name. It is a very helpful brush.
Dan Castelli is a super chat for $1.99. Oh, here we go. Phoneticsuki translates to brush that helps.
So there you go. Yeah.
Wow has a super chat for $4.99. Hi Dave, love your art. Super happy I found your channel. Do you have a favorite font for emails? What? No. Whatever the Google gives him is the email font.
Yes, but thank you very much. I have to admit that's not something I've ever thought about before. It's a very interesting question.
It is. I might change my font on my emails now, just because of that question.
Yeah.
From Wow.
Just don't even think about it.
Hey, we're at 614 likes, but you know what I have to say? If you are new tonight and you have not already joined the 418,000 subscribers, then make sure
420 we round up around here.
If you're new tonight and you've not already joined the 418,000 subscribers, make sure you hit that button and subscribe. Adam Meyer has a super chat for $10. Mr. Finch, could you please draw a character fully covered in hair like the Beast? I know you covered it briefly in a texture video, but a deeper dive would be much appreciated.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, you know what? That would be a good one for Monday Night Draw. Maybe I'm going to do the Beast. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And the thing about the Beast, I've drawn characters that are very hairy, so the hair is kind of a little more flowing. But that's a different technique than drawing a character like Beast, where it really is just like a more fine hair, almost like a, you know, what you'd get like stubble on a face. So yes, let's do that. I've got Backlash and Brett Booth's characters, and I forget her name. Sorry, Brett. I'm so bad with names. But a 2-character picture coming up pretty soon, because I really want to draw his characters, and also because I owe somebody a picture of that. So, and yeah, I want to do the Beast. I think it'll be a lot of fun. How much time do I have, Meredith?
5 minutes.
Come on, really?
Yep. ZeroXYZ86 has a super chat for $5. Are you planning to finish the Proco comic workshop? Sorry if this has been addressed before.
Yes, I am, and it will be very, very soon.
I feel like it was. I don't understand how it was only ever supposed to be one page. Why is it not finished? What
Okay,
happened there?
it was supposed to be one page as far as I knew, but they really wanted to get the rest of it done, and I said I would do it, and I want to
Get
do
the
it.
rest of it done, but it was only supposed to be one thing.
Yeah, I hear you, Meredith. But anyway, that's going to happen. I'm doing some covers right now. I've got a bit of a stack over the next 2 weeks. As soon as that is done, I'm going to take 2 days and get the last page done and upload it to Proco and get me out of their hair because they'd like to have it finished. I mean, they've been so nice. They're like, I can't tell you, they're so good. But part of the reason I want to get it finished is because they've been so good. I'm not going to be able to finish this thing. Anytime I draw a character with guns, this is what happens.
Yeah.
Also, I haven't done this for a bit, so we ended up doing a few more tutorial kind of things, but I love doing those. It's worth taking the time. Let's just make Meredith. You know what? You can stay up for another hour. You'll be fine.
Not going to happen. You don't want to burn me out the first night.
I don't. And I don't also want to keep working when you go to bed because, while I end up sleeping down here all the time, we do at least go upstairs together and spend a little time. So get done as much done as I can.
Extreme Maybe says you have to do Chewbacca for the hairy character.
Yeah, I hear you. But Chewbacca has a longer hair, so it's a very different technique. I mean, also something that can be very interesting. But I've done Wendigo. I've done some kind of longer hair characters on a stream. So I think it'd be interesting to do Beast. Also, I just really like Beast. The only problem with drawing them is you can't draw them blue. You know what I'm saying, Meredith?
Mm-hmm.
I like them blue, and you can't get that across in black and white.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Best name I can think of has a super chat for $5. Not tonight, obviously, but would you consider a video on drawing chains? And thanks for the help with the scars.
Very welcome. And yeah, now a video on chains would be crazy. Maybe it's not a bad idea just to do a video that would take me literally 2 minutes to do because I do all these incredibly.
Why don't you just do that?
Yeah,
you manufacture the idea in your head.
It needs to be these
this
magnum opuses.
Yes, just do a 2-minute video. Here's how you do chains. Bam, done. Walk away. Mic drop.
I feel like I'm cheating you guys when I do that.
You're not. Nobody's paying for it. They just want help. They just want content, Dave.
All right.
Stop.
And I could just do it right away too.
You could just do it.
All right, I'm just gonna do it.
You're not allowed to do any video longer than 2 minutes. Right?
Oh no, I'm not doing that. But
yeah, I'm gonna for the next 6 months. Only videos can be 2-minute videos.
Yeah, don't worry.
You put out like 20 of them.
Nobody listens to Meredith. It's all right.
Yeah, the only person who listens to you.
But I will do a chains video.
Oh, look at One Mighty Air says 2-minute vids would be awesome too.
He's just being nice.
He's not. 2-minute tips.
All right, fine. I will do a chains video and I'll do it right away, actually.
JDSET, tell him, Meredith. That way, quick and no help.
Yeah.
John Horkler.
Because I have a whole system for chains.
Yeah. They could be YouTube shorts. Ethan Richards.
Ethan Richards. Oh, said he'd like to see it.
They could be YouTube shorts.
Oh, is that he? Oh, he said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen shorts. I don't know how to use that.
I don't know why you just don't do it.
All right, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, stop making this such.
I'm not stopping making.
I'm not saying that, but like.
Okay, you win.
I'm
gonna do it.
Not doing anything while you're trying to get stuff done.
Okay, fair enough.
There you go. I don't know why you don't listen to me all the time. I am the answer to all of your problems.
You very often are, but.
Bruno Santos says, "Nice to see you again, Finches. I am a big fan."
You're so annoying. I'd rather be wrong. I'm kidding. I love you. And good to see you, Bruno.
Yes. Toronto says, Dave, what did you think about the Moon Knight show?
I thought it was great. I will say, given my choice, I would have preferred a much darker, Moon Knight that is. Here's the problem. I'm so torn with Moon Knight. I love Moon Knight for who he is as a character, and I'm a very big fan. But when I'm thinking about the Moon Knight that I really like, to me, he's like a mentally, he's very crazy, Batman, So that's always kind of the Moon Knight that I want to see. Somebody that just is a little bit out of control. I don't want to see like just a completely, stupid comic where he's just going around killing people. That's not what I mean. I'd want him to be tortured, and I want to get that, but I'd like to see more of that. That really isn't the direction that they went with the show, but I loved what they did with it. I thought it was really, really smart, and a lot of fun to watch.
Extreme maybe said 2-minute tips is the perfect name.
Yeah. All right.
All right. And you know what time it is?
Meredith, can I just finish the leg? It'll take me seriously like 2 minutes.
You got 9:05. It's 9:01 now. So I'm feeling generous.
Okay, thank you.
I want to really do the Jeopardy theme song music, but then we'll get I feel like we won't get copyright strike if I do it for like 2 seconds.
I think you'd be all right.
Because I'm not that good. Do.
The amount of videos that I've had copyright claimed from music that I bought from one site. Have the license. I even showed YouTube the license. It didn't matter. Like no one, because they don't look at it, This is a while ago. Now I just take it down. When that happens, I'm like, all right, fair enough. I just take the thing down.
You just take the video down and then you take the sound off? You just take the whole video down?
I take the sound off. Oh. But it's so frustrating. Yeah, sell somebody a license and then copyright claim them. Great, thanks.
Oh, sigh.
I'm not going to say what site it was because
you don't need to say what site it was.
Yeah, I'm not interested in creating some kind of.
Not at all.
But yeah.
Oh, I got exciting news.
Okay.
I'm sure the stream was excited to know that there will be 2 new baby horses. All things going well on the farm next spring.
Yeah, we've got 2 pregnant horses.
Yeah. So say prayers for us that because a horse baby grows for 11 months. It's a long gestation.
Yep.
But say prayers that they all have healthy gestational periods and healthy deliveries.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully it goes well. I'm sure it will.
One mayor says, I got claimed 3 times. YouTube is a savage.
Well, YouTube, millions of videos. It's not really, they don't have the ability to police it as well as they would need to for it to be, fair. So to a certain extent, you rely on hoping that people aren't dishonest. And it is what it is.
All right.
It's frustrating, but yeah, I don't even get upset about it now. I understand how it works, so I just take it down.
Ethan Richards says, that's exciting, which I know he's referring to the ponies.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to have to stop there because of Meredith. That's who we can blame.
Yeah, blame it on me. My shoulders are broad. I could take it.
So yeah, I'm done. I'm not working anymore. Don't worry.
I can be the root of all evil. It looks really good as it is, Dave.
Oh, thank you.
Ridiculous.
All right, I'm gonna stop there. Every time I say I'm gonna stop.
You can't stop.
Well, I just want to at least make sure that there's no areas that are like glaringly like just completely not finished. All right, well there it is, Aphrodite IX. That was a lot of fun, and it's fun. You know what? I think I'm slower than I was because that should not have taken so long that I'm freaking out trying to get it done. It's been too long since I've done Monday Night Draw. I need to get back in the swing of
into the fasty.
Yep. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thank you everyone for coming. It's been way too long since we've done this. It was great to see you all here. I'm
next week.
Genuinely hoping that my camera situation has worked out for next week and we can have our proper setup and have our chat on here again. And
you can see him be embarrassed.
Yeah,
when
that's right. Yeah.
To all of you.
There you go. So yeah, have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next Monday.
Happy weekend.
Good night, everybody.